Okay, well, good morning and welcome to rebuilding the Scotty window. I am certainly no professional at this. I did two of them so far. Thought I would videotape this third one so I have all the steps recorded so that I remember how everything goes back together. There's a couple of windows in the 64 Scotty front kitchen that are this same size. There's one that's smaller, and then the front window, of course, is a lot larger, and we'll tackle that one last. So first thing I'm going to do is remove this and take the screws out of here. And I failed to bring a little container with me, so I'll keep them all back here in the corner together. So that removes this piece here so that we can get the screen out of here and out of our way. And we will discard the old screen. Now you'll have to excuse me because I'm not really on the camera much, and that's just the way it is here because I'm no professional for sure. Next, we're going to slide this out, slide that up. Now this piece is free, and we're going to set that aside. You can see there's a little pin in here. That pin is important because that's what guides in this track to open and close the window. This mechanism works just fine. We might just clean it up in there a little bit later on and just add a little bit of lubricant in there. Okay, now this window has actually come completely apart. The other windows I did not. This actually sits, if you can see it here, there's a little groove here, and this is supposed to be sitting down in here, but this is already pulled apart. Maybe I did that when I took it out of the trailer, I'm not sure. Normally though, you have to separate that. So now we have this piece separated, and you can see that the seal, see how the seal here just pulls right off. And we'll continue to pull the seal off here around this bottom. Notice the bottom is the part that is solid here. This slot is at the top. And we'll peel this off just like this. Okay. All right, so now we have this window frame completely apart. We'll set this aside. And now we have to take apart this piece and take the glass out. Now this one is probably the window that's in the worst condition from all of them. You can see it has some damage here, a little bit that's bent. There's some bent metal here. Not really sure how in the world somebody did that, but needless to say, it was done. I'm just going to peel the seal out of here for right now, because if you notice, this window does not have glass in it. This is just plexiglass. So somebody along the way broke this window. Maybe that's why all the damage here is here. And they tried to replace it with some plexiglass, which they didn't do a very good job. Okay, so continuing on, these metal pieces, which there's actually one missing on this window. I'm not sure exactly how I'll resolve to fix that, but somehow I'll have to fix that and replace it with something to hold the glass in on this side. So here, I'm just going to break these little screws loose. And I did not break that loose at a time. That was the first time. And just put that little nut back on that little screw. One thing I loved about working on the Scotty so far, all this hardware I have found is old hardware, obviously from 64, possibly 63 as well, who knows. And even though some of it is rusty, it generally loosens up pretty easily. I attribute that to the fact that this was probably all made in America, American steel, and there's nothing cheap about this hardware. If I replace any of the hardware, you know, it's not going to be the same quality, and that concerns me. So I am probably going to clean up and reuse as much of the original hardware as I can. Okay. And you can see how easily these are just turning out. Now, of course, this window, like I said, at one time, obviously somebody had this apart. But even the previous windows that appeared to me to have original glass in them also came apart this easy. I hate those little spider things. They're... ugh. Anyhow. Okay. This little nut and screw here looks a lot newer than the rest. I imagine it was replaced maybe at one time. Okay, this one is giving us a little trouble. There it is. And it broke loose. And I'm actually going to have to get a little pair of pliers for that. I love my lineman's pliers. I know it's not exactly a socket, but for something like this, it works.